Well, first, before I start on my comments, I would like to join the representative from Southfield in commending the chairman of the committee. This was not an easy bill, and he allowed testimony on both sides and was fair to us, so I do want to recognize that. The stated purpose of this bill is to allow the state to control wage and benefits, essentially to prevent local governments from creating things like minimum wages in their communities. But the reality is that this bill goes a lot farther than that. Under this bill, locals will still be able to offer local abatements for businesses, but they won't be able to tell those businesses what can or cannot be done with those tax dollars. So locals will give up the ability to put more police or firefighters on the street in order to have more businesses or jobs. But they can't require that labor is used, that local labor is used when they give up those tax dollars. Many of us here served in local government. We attended MML and MTA and MAC conferences where we talked about local control, and we criticized those in Lansing for violating that local control. Well, Mr. Speaker, how quickly we forget. I served on a county commission for 10 years. During that time, we considered many regulations and resolutions and ordinances. We passed a living wage ordinance. Well, why did we do that? It's because we were raging liberals in Ingham County? Nope, that's not why. We did it because we found that we had county employees and employees of businesses that we contract with that were not making enough to avoid public assistance. We did it to save the county and our taxpayers dollars while still ensuring that our residents could afford to feed their families and keep them healthy. We decided we wanted our tax dollars to ensure a wage for those receiving our county tax dollars that was above poverty. Businesses didn't leave Ingham County as a result. In fact, our economy got better. But this bill seems to wipe that out. This bill says that we don't trust the locals to do what their constituents want. It says the legislature knows best. Now, after 80% of the Michigan public just told us they don't trust us, this bill instead says we don't trust our local officials. I had the opportunity to see a recent poll from MSU called the MSU State of the State Survey, and in that survey, 19% of the responders said they trust state government, while 39% said they trust local government. This bill is backwards. I understand the business community and why they're advocating for this. I do. They want to reduce their costs, and I get that. But we're the legislature, and we need to balance the needs of our businesses with the needs of our residents. Our residents also have burdens and needs. They may want to reduce the tax dollars they have to pay for public assistance, so they may decide to require a living wage for employees who receive those local tax dollars. What's wrong with that? Again, we need to balance the needs of the businesses with the needs of our locals and our residents. And what about competition? I heard that raised. If a community passes something that's bad for business, then business will locate elsewhere. That's competition. If the local officials continue to make bad decisions, the citizens will vote them out. That's democracy. That's the free market that we hear so much about. This bill is anti-free market and anti-competition. So where is the problem? Why is it that businesses now face a burden that they haven't faced in the last half century? The patchwork of communities that we heard about in committee yesterday, that's worked for 52 years, since Michigan residents adopted our current Constitution. And if that patchwork of local government is so bad, then what about the different local millages? What about local planning and zoning? Why have local governments at all? The Constitution was made to prevent this exact situation. Before this Constitution, the state passed laws that affected local communities. Well, that didn't work. So instead, they went to home rule and local control. People like George Romney put local control into the Constitution, and the people of Michigan approved it, so we should continue to stand by that. This bill goes way too far. It's a violation of home rule and local control that we put into our Constitution and we all swore to uphold. I hope you'll heed the voices of your citizens through your local officials, the Democrats and Republicans elected at our city, village, township, and county offices that want us to trust them and to retain local control that has worked since 1963. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Schor.